Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on this 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin, because currently we are still in the process of getting rejected from this critical level of resistance here. So far, seeing about a 7% move to the downside. And taking a look at the immediate short term, you can see that we are in a very steep downtrend as I'm recording this video, but at the same time we are potentially about to reach this big level of support sitting from about 93,000 all the way down to 91k. So that is a potential area to look for some support if we go that low. Besides that, if you take a look at this descending trend line, if you are looking for some kind of bullish setup, potentially you can look for a break of this resistance, but keep in mind that this is a pretty steep trend line right here, so it is not the most reliable breakout if you're looking for something like this. Although, of course, make sure to always look for that confirmation that you are actually breaking out. You want to see some candle closes. Besides that, if you're looking for a bullish type of breakout, you want to see a lot of volume coming into the market when you're breaking that trend line. And besides that, potentially you could look for some kind of breakout, retest, resumption. But until then, guys, we are simply in a downtrend here on the 4-hour time frame, so keep that in mind. Don't open up that long position ahead of time. Not financial advice, of course, but that is simply not what the chart is telling you to do. Now, besides that, if we were to actually break this descending trend line, the next area of resistance to pay attention to is this next descending trend line here. And at that point, we are starting to look at a potential bigger breakout to the upside. So that is an interesting scenario to pay attention to if we actually break this descending trend line first. And also notice how these downtrends keep getting less and less steep, right? And then right here, you see that again, we have a less steep angle. So for example, if we just keep doing this, then eventually you get some kind of trend line like this that is a lot less steep. And then when we actually break out, it is very, very likely that that is the next break towards much higher price action for Bitcoin. Of course, for now, that is not the case, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I am looking for something like that to occur. Now, again, I know that I've been pretty bearish here over the last couple of weeks, but yeah, I am still looking for some kind of chop or some kind of bearish price action. We have a lot of liquidity to the downside in this area right here. So as of right now, especially with this downtrend that we are currently in, my base case is that we are going to take out this level of liquidity before heading to the upside once again. I don't think we are fully out of the woods yet, because if we take a look at all of this liquidity that we have to the downside, which I will show in just a second here, it is so close to the current price action, guys, that it would just not surprise me whatsoever if we first have to come down here, take out all of that liquidity that is sitting right there, and then from there we can maybe chop, or we can just get a big liquidation event and then bounce from there. But either way, I am still looking for some kind of liquidity grab before we are heading to the upside once again. And this is just my objective analysis. All I'm seeing here is that we reached some critical resistance here. That's when I first started warning about this downtrend. Then we lost this ascending line of support. And from there, we have downtrend, 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 downtrend. Okay, so all of that is pointing towards the downside as far as I'm concerned. And of course, if we now start seeing those reversal signals, a lot of volume coming in the market, potentially even, like, for example, the most bullish case right now would be this. We break out above both of these trend lines, retest and flip it into a level of support and resume from there. But so long as I'm not seeing that, we are simply still in this downtrend, okay? So that is just something to keep in mind. And of course, nothing I say in this video is financial advice. I'm simply telling you what I'm seeing in the charts, and you can do with that information what you like. And here you can see that downside liquidity that I'm talking about. We have over $10 billion worth of long liquidation sitting at 92,000 US dollars, and then over $18 billion worth of liquidity sitting at around 90K. So that's why I'm saying, like, hey, if we're currently trading at around 94,000, this drop to 90K to take out so much liquidity would not be a crazy idea. Now, besides that, we also do have over $10 billion worth of short positions that would get taken out if we reach 108K for the Bitcoin price. And yes, as it stands right now, I do think we are going to make new all-time highs for Bitcoin, but it could potentially take another 2 weeks or something before we actually get out of this choppy price action, this bearish price action, because like I said, we need to break these critical levels of resistance first before we can start talking about new all-time highs and next moves to the upside, right? One thing that is bullish though is actually the Bitcoin ETF flow tables, because we saw a net inflow of close to 500 million US dollars into the Bitcoin ETFs. So that is a very bullish thing to see. We saw a lot of outflows here over the last couple days, and then to finally see the Bitcoin ETFs flip bullish again is a positive sign, because so long as the Bitcoin ETFs are buying hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin every single weekday, then this is going to have an upwards pressuring effect on the Bitcoin price. And that's why it is a bullish sign to see big inflows once again. But of course, we have to keep track of this every single weekday to make sure we're not missing any important data here. Before I leave off here today, I quickly want to point out the Road to 1 Million community. This is the most active crypto trading community in the space right now. So if you are leverage trading crypto or you're doing a bunch of TA on your own, I highly recommend you come check this out. You can find the link to this in the video description. And of course, it is completely free to join. There's no membership or anything like that. So again, come check this out. But regardless, if you do end up joining or not, thank you for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.